Hello everyone, welcome back. It's TGR, that's Gaming Robo. Guys, in this video we are going to do something really special. We are going to bankrupt every Premier League team and see what happens over the next 5 years. What happens to every football club in the Premier League. Now, just before we do crack on with the video, guys, please make sure that you do smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell too. And if you want any databases or fonts or background images, you name it, the link is in the description down below. Copy and paste it, register to CM0102 forum and download anything and everything that you want to make your CM Championship Manager 0102 gaming that much better. Let's hit the intro and start the video. What happens to the Premier League over the next 5 years? And what happens to every football club? Are they staying bankrupt? So we've gone 5 years into the future, so we're going to have a look at the Premier League and see what teams are there. So we know Arsenal, Villa, Bolton, Chelsea, Derby, Ipswich, Leeds. I mean, still a number of teams who we made bankrupt at the start of 5 years ago. But we'll need to see what has happened. So Arsenal is still bankrupt, Villa is still bankrupt, Bolton's still bankrupt. Obviously Cardiff's not. Chelsea's insecure. Coventry's okay. Crystal Palace is rich. Derby, they're secure. So is Ipswich. Leeds are bankrupt. Leicester's rich. Liverpool's bankrupt. Man United's bankrupt. I'm looking at the facilities as well. The state of the stadiums has dropped dramatically for Old Trafford, that's for sure. St James's is bankrupt. St James's, Newcastle's bankrupt. St James's has dropped. Portsmouth are rich. Southampton's bankrupt. Tottenham's bankrupt, and they've got 9,000. Why am I saying 97? 9,700 seat stadium. West Ham secure. And Wolves are secure. Okay, so who's won the league over the past 5 seasons? So Arsenal, Man U, Arsenal. So only 2 teams have won the Premier League. Okay, what has happened to the players? So they all went free transfer. Wow. Okay, so we'll have a look at the most notable names and see where they are. So Seaman's now scout at Norrköping. Kolo Touré, he's at Oviedo. Ashley Cole, he's back at Arsenal, so they signed him up straight away. Thierry Henry, he's back at Arsenal. Jermaine Pennant, back at Arsenal. Patrick Vieira, he's at Juventus. He did come back to Arsenal though. Dennis Bergkamp, he's now coach at Heerenveen. Van Bronckhorst, he's at West Ham. Francis Jeffers, he's at Everton. Sol Campbell is at Barcelona. Let's see who they signed in that first season, because obviously they need players. So Wayne Bridge came to Arsenal. Fabian Barthez came to Arsenal. Bergkamp came back. Kieran Dyer. And now he's at Bayern Munich. Ashley Cole came back. Djorkaeff, Dakor, Sami Hupia. Luke Chadwick as well. Seth Johnson came here. Okay, so Arsenal obviously signed a fair few good players. So players that have left Villa in the first season: Gareth Barry, who's at Man United now. Who else? Notable name. I'm struggling to find notable names in Aston Villa. Olaf Melberg, I like him. He's at Rayo. Ronnie Johnson, he's gone now. Peter Crouch, he's now at Leeds. Okay, so who did they bring in the first season? Sean Wright-Phillips, who's still at Villa right now. David James, he's now Orlando Pirates. Okay, this is a very quick round looking through Villa. Bolton did. Yes, so they were in the Premier League when all this happened. So JJ Okocha, he went to Arsenal after being released by Bolton. Michael Ricketts, he's at Charlton Athletic. Paul Warhurst, he's now Scout. Juicy Jaskalainen. Okay, okay. So who do they bring in within that first season? John Curtis. Straight away, there's a most notable name, but now he's at Crystal Palace. Steve Sidwell, cracking little player. Christian Daly, he's still at Bolton. Jason Wilcox, Marcus Allback. Okay, we'll go to Chelsea. What we'll do is we'll go to the players that have come in, because we can go through all the players that have left the bigger clubs. So they signed Callum Munyarak at the start, Thomas Gravison and Thomas Sorensen. Gudmundsson, how they managed to get 40,000, God only knows. The only thing I can think of is new people bought the club and put some money in, but then they go bankrupt again. Lee Bowyer, good signing, and Nicky Butt too. Gilberto Silva, Henning Berg, Carlton Cole, Alan Smith. God, and Perez and Wes Brown. They had an immense team. Martin Dage too, Christian Ziege. They had a really good team. Now, obviously, Coventry City weren't in the Premier League at the start, and neither was Crystal Palace, which means we go to Derby County. Nope, they weren't part of it. Ipswich. No, they weren't part of it either. So we're going to Leeds now. So Leeds managed to bring in Titus Bramble, brilliant player. Chris Powell, Peter Crouch, Matt Jansen, Seb Larson, Stefan Schwartz, who's now no longer in the game. Okay, what about Leicester City? They weren't in the Premier League, so it would be Liverpool next. Okay, so they brought in Edwin van der Sar, top goalie. Gerrard back in the team. Patrick Berger, Damien Duff, Emil Heskey came back. Adam Collin, who's now at Crystal Palace. Nick Barmby back. Dominic Matteo back. Michael Owen back. Jason Kumas, great player. Torre Andre Flo. That's it, really. They brought back a lot of players. The Man City, they managed to bring in Harry Kewell, Richard Wright, great goalie. Alan Boxick. Really it. That's quite sad for Man City. But Man United, they brought in Gareth Barry. David Beckham came back, but now he is at Barcelona. Ian Stonebridge, who's now at Port Vale. They actually use him at all. Handful of times. Mikel Silvestre, who's now at Barcelona. Ida Johnson. Paul Scholes came back. Sean Davies. Davis rather. Jonathan Woodgate, great player. Giggs came back, who's now at Barcelona too. Barcelona signing everyone. Tim Sherwood, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came back. Chris Kirkland, brilliant signing. Roy Carroll came back. Roy Keane came back. Sebastian Svard, Robbie Elliott, and Andy Cole came back. Liam Rosnier. Okay, so a fair few good players came back and joined Man United. Newcastle United straight away. Jermaine Defoe, fantastic signing. Kevin Nolan, brilliant. Ray Parler, Frank Lampard, Joe Murphy, Ugo Ekiog, Gianfranco Zola, who's now a coach at Livorno, Alan Shearer, who's over at Rangers, Colin Cooper, John Ostenbo, or good players at Newcastle. Portsmouth, obviously they weren't part of the Premier League. Southampton, Danny Mills, who's now at Rangers. Danny Murphy, who's now at Wolves. Kevin Davies, still at Southampton. Teddy Sheringham, who's now a coach at Wigan. Duncan Ferguson, who's no longer in the game. Frederic Canute, still at Southampton. A few good players, nothing worth shouting about. What about Tottenham? Shay Given, brilliant signing for them. Jermaine Pennant, but then he rejoined Arsenal. Chris Perry, managed to bring him back. Nigel Martin, who's now coach at Gillingham. Gary Speed, who's a scout at Huddersfield. Simon Davies, this is the player that I would have tried my best to get. Steve Finnan, another great player. Craig Bellamy. Dave Batty, who's now coach at Hull. Quinton Fortune back at Tottenham Hotspurs. That's really it for Tottenham Hotspurs there. West Ham, right. They start off with David May. Laurent Blanc, brilliant player, now coach. Dwight York, who's still at West Ham. Graham Lasso. Not a lot there for West Ham. And Wolves, they weren't obviously part of the Premier League at the start of the game. But obviously we know that Man United and Arsenal were the only teams to win the Premier League. In the FA Cup, it was Arsenal, Palace and Charlton. In the League Cup, Blackburn, there we go. There's 5 different winners. Blackburn, Arsenal, Wolves, Bradford and Man City. Charity Shield, yeah. Arsenal and Man U. We do need to see the Champions League. No English team. Arsenal were the furthest in 2003, where they got knocked out in the final. UEFA Cup. No. Liverpool runners up in 02. Obviously Super Cup, none of them would have been there. Okay, well, I mean, I'm quite surprised, to be fair, with how these teams are still bankrupt after 5 seasons. Obviously, they all would have had different chairmen or different owners of the clubs now, but you'd expect there'd be some I don't know what really I would have expected, to be fair. Let's have a quick look at the transfers. Just go England and we'll go back to 0102. So the top transfer was Lee Naylor going to Barnsley for 2.6 million. Then we're starting to see big bucks, but players leaving England to go play football abroad. Robert Perez, £15 million. Muzzy Izzet, £7.5 million. Park Ji-sung went and played for Crystal Palace. Now he's over at Celtic. What about 03? Patrick Vieira of £20 million to Real Madrid. Silvestre 17.5. Matt Piper 15. Stupid money, but loads of players going to play abroad for bigger money. Barcelona raiding Man United. Just over £40 million respectively there. It has just got less and less money. Wayne Rooney gone to Lens for 3.8 million. Jesus. Well, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this little experiment. If there is another type of experiment you would like to see, leave a comment down below and let me know what type of experiment you'd like me to do. But guys, thank you very much once again for your love and your support, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you the next video that we have on my channel here at TGR. That's Gaming Robo.